If you're anything like me, you might have wondered to yourself, can I use my iPad as a gaming monitor? I mean, it's essentially just a big screen, right? And it has a USB-C port to it, and they even make dongles that can make the USB-C plug into an HDMI port. So why not, right? Well, today, we're going to find out. Whether you're trying to game on the go or save space in your setup, we're about to see if this is actually a game changer, or if it even works. Here's what I'm using to test this out. My M1 iPad Pro, my PS5, my USB-C to HDMI adapter, my Elgato capture card, and a third-party iPad app. First up, console remote play. Both the PlayStation and the Xbox have apps that let you stream your console to your iPad over Wi-Fi. All you would need is the PlayStation Remote Play app, a DualSense PS5 controller connected to your iPad, and your console powered up. But here's the catch. It's Wi-Fi based, so expect a little bit of latency. It's not ideal for competitive shooters, but for slower games. Now it's time to get a little bit creative. So I took my iPad, I hooked up the USB-C to HDMI adapter into the USB-C port on the iPad, and then plugged in the HDMI from my console into the other end of the adapter. And then I went on ahead and downloaded the Orion app. It's a free app and you can find it in the App Store. They do have a paid version where you can get higher resolution or other creative filters, but for the purpose of this experiment, I'm just gonna go with the free version just to see if it even works at all. When you first open the app, you get this cool little retro animation, which is a nice touch. Now, when the app first starts up, it has a digital instruction manual. If you click on that, it'll tell you the requirements of recommendations and compatibilities, and it even has a link to buy a compatible HDMI dongle from Amazon. But for the sole purpose of this, I'm using a USB-C to HDMI dongle that I already own, made by Anchor, to see if this works. And after testing it out, this adapter that I have does not work, unfortunately. It's good for just basic HDMI signal, but for this, for whatever reason, does not work. I even closed the app, unplugged the cord, opened the app back up and plugged it back in, still nothing. So I gotta go to method 2, which is using my Elgato capture card. Again, this is not ideal if this does work, but I just want to see if this is even possible to do anyways. So I opened the app, plugged up the HDMI from the PS5 into the Elgato capture card, and then used the USB-C from the Elgato capture card and plugged it directly into the iPad. And voila, technically, this does work as a gaming monitor, as a screen. But then again, there's just a small delay. And even though the PS5 can output up to 120 frames, the app will tell you at the very beginning it's going to cap you off at 60. So this is not technically good for games that require a lot of frames or fast-paced action. Again, story mode or anything like campaigns or anything slow-paced, this would be a good solution. So unless you're just recording footage or just playing casually, this isn't a full gaming monitor replacement. But technically it works, and that was the purpose of today's experiment. So can your iPad be a gaming monitor? Well, kind of, but not directly. Yes, you can get a signal on there and play your PlayStation or Xbox, but it's not preferred. There's still much better alternatives to this, like a real gaming monitor or a TV. But if you ever find yourself in a situation where you have your console for whatever reason and there's no TV, but you have your iPad with you, then you got a solution. So to go back over the list, remote play works for casual play. The capture card method is creative, but it's clunky, but it's not the most realistic solution. And with the iPad not having a native direct HDMI input, means it's not a true gaming monitor substitute. You just gotta keep that in mind. So if you want a portable display for your console, you're better off with something like a dedicated portable gaming monitor with HDMI input, or just get a PlayStation Portal. Still, it's cool to know your iPad can play console games in a pinch. Let me know in the comments if you tried this or found a smoother setup. So if you enjoyed today's video, or even just enjoyed today's little experiment, please drop a like, share with a friend, and maybe even consider subscribing. And I'll catch you in the next one.